Here we have reached the remotest region of the earth, the haunt of Scythians, a wilderness without a footprint. Hephaestus, do your duty. Remember the command the Father laid on you. Here lies Prometheus, the rebel. Nail him to the rock. Secure him on this towering summit fast in the unyielding grip of the adamantine chains. It was your treasure that he stole, the flowery splendor of all fashioning fire, and gave it to men. An offense intolerable to the gods, for which he must now suffer, till he be taught to accept the sovereignty of Zeus and cease acting as champion for the human race.
For you, the command of Zeus is now formed. You are released. But how can I find heart to lay hand on a god of my own race and cruelly clamp him to this bitter, bleak ravine? And yet I must, heart or no heart, this I must do, to slight what Zeus has spoken is a fearful thing. Son of sagacious Themis, God of mountainous thoughts, with heart as sore as yours, I now shall fasten you in bands of bronze immovable to this desolate peak where you will hear no voice, nor see a human form, but scorched with the sun's flaming rays, your skin shall lose its bloom of freshness. Glad you will be to see the night, cloaking the day with her dark-spangled robe, and glad again when the sun's warmth scatters the frosted dawn. Each changing hour will bring successive pains to rack your body, and no man yet born shall set you free. Your kindness to the human race has earned you this, a god who would not bow to the god's anger. You, transgressing right, gave privileges to mortal men. For that, you shall keep watch upon this bitter rock, standing upright, unsleeping, never bowed in rest. Many groans and cries of pain shall come from you all useless. For the heart of Zeus is hard to appease. Power newly won is always harsh.
Why do you waste your time in pity? Why do you not hate a god who is enemy to all gods, who gave away your privilege?
The ties of birth and comradeship are strangely strong.
True! Yet how can you disobey the Father? Is not that something you fear more?
You've always been cruel, full of aggressiveness.
It does no good to break your heart for him. Come now, waste no time in worrying. You cannot help him.
I hate my craft. I hate the skill of my own hand.
Why do you hate it? Take the simpler view. Your craft is not to blame for what must be inflicted now.
True, yet I wish some other had been given my skill.
All tasks are burdensome, except to rule the gods. No one is free but Zeus.
I know, all this is proof beyond dispute.
Be quick then. Put the fetters on him before the Father sees you idling.
Here then, look, the iron wristbands are ready.
Take them. Manacle him. Hammer with all your force. Rivet him to the rock.
There. I'm doing it. That iron will not come loose.
Oh, drive it in further. Clamp him fast. Leave nothing slack.
None. But Zeus could fairly find fault with my work.
Now, drive straight through his chest. With all the force you have, the unrelenting fang of the adamantine wedge.
Alas! I wait, Prometheus, for your suffering.
Still shrinking! Still weeping for the enemy of Zeus! Take care, or you may need pity for yourself.
There! Now you see a sight to pain your eyes.
I see Prometheus getting his deserts. Come now, fix the girths around his ribs.
I must. Don't drive me with command.
I swear I will command you, yes! And hound you on! Come on, lower down now. Fit his legs through the rings.
That's quickly done.
Be quick! Hit hard, you know our work! As stern judge!
Your speech matches your looks.
Be soft then. But if I am hard and I am pitiless, do not cast it at me.
Come, his legs are safe. Let's go.
Stay here, and swell with upstart arrogance, and steal the gifts of the gods, and give them to mortal men. How are you mortals going to cut this knot for you? You are wrongly named Prometheus, wise before the event. Wisdom is just the thing you'll need if you've a mind to squirm your way out of this blacksmith's masterpiece.
Oh, divinity of sky, and swift-winged winds and leaping streams. Oh, earth, mother of all life, to you and to the all-seeing circle of the sun I call. See what it's done by the gods to me. A god? See how I'm tortured and here to agonize for 1,000 years. See this shameful prison, invented for me by the new master of the gods. I groan in anguish for pain present and pain to come. Where shall I see rise the star of my deliverance? What am I saying? I know everything there is to come. No pain shall come unforeseen. Silence and speech are alike beyond me. For bestowing gifts upon mankind, I am now hardest in this torturing clamp. For I am he who hunted out the source of fire, and stole, and packed in pith of a dry fennel stalk. And fire has proved to man a great teacher in every art. That was the sin for which I now pay the full price. Bare to the winds of heaven, bound and crucified. What is that? A rustling? Is it of birds? The air whisper with the beating of wild winds. Whatever comes brings fear.
Fear nothing. We are all your friends. We have flown to this mountain on aching wings, winning reluctant leave from our Father. And the winds carried us swiftly along. For the echo of ringing steel shivered through the depths of our cave, and barefoot as we were, we came at once in our winged carriage.
Alas, daughters of Oceanus, seeing how cruel a grape, pinned to the craggy peak of this ravine, I must endure my fearful watch.
I look, Prometheus, and sudden fear fills my eyes to see your body withering on this rock. These are new laws indeed, by which Zeus tyrannically rules, and the great power of the past he now destroys. Who does not suffer with you in your pain, save Zeus? He, firm in inflexible anger, treads down the race of Uranus, and will not relent till his passion is sated.
I swear to you that as humiliated as I am, shall yet be needed by the King of Gods, to disclose to him this new design. Tell him who it is who shall rob him of his power and his glory. I shall not cower under his fierce threats until he will free me from these bonds and resolve to compensate me for this outrage.
You are defiant, Prometheus, and your spirit, in spite of all your pain, yields not an inch. Now disclose to us, and explain everything upon what charge Zeus had you seized and treated with such ignominy and brutality.
To speak of this is painful to me. When first anger broke out among the gods, dividing them into two factions, of which one resolved to unseat the power of Kronos and to make Zeus absolute king. Mark that. While the other resolved no less but that Zeus shall never rule the gods. At that time, I, giving the best of all advice, tried to convince the Titans, sons of heaven and earth, and failed. I knew the appointed fate of things to come. My mother, Hermes, had many times foretold me that not violence, not brute strength, but cunning must give victory to the rulers of the future. So I took my stand at the sight of Zeus, and it was I who gave that counsel through which now ancient Thronos and all his crew lie buried down in the deep abyss of Tartarus. That was the counsel I gave to the Lord of Immortals, and this is my reward. Now, on what charge Zeus tortures me, I'll tell you. On succeeding his father's throne, he appointed various rights to various gods, giving each his set place and authority. Of wretched humans he took no account, resolved to annihilate them and to create another race. To this purpose there was no one to oppose to, but I dared. I saved the human race from total death. And for that, I am now subjected to these bitter pains.
Did your offense perhaps go further than you have said?
Yes, I caused men no longer foresee their death. I planted firmly in their heart blind hopefulness.
Your gift brought them great blessing.
I did more than that. I gave them fire, and with it they shall master many crafts.
This is then was the offense for which you suffer here. And is no end of this ordeal appointed you?
None, until he see such time fit to choose.
He never will. What hope is there? Oh, you are wronged, do you not see? To say that you are wronged grieves me and tortures you. So let us talk no more of it. Instead, try now to think of some deliverance.
Oh, it is easy for the one who stands outside to exhort the one who suffers. Wrong. I accept the word. I will to be wrong. And helping you humans in their misery, I found trouble for myself. Yet I did not expect such punishment as this. Listen, stop your whiling for the pains I suffer. I'll tell you what the future holds for me.
Here at last! Prometheus! I have come a long way to visit you, guiding this swift-winged creature by will and without any bridle. Believe me, I am sorry for your misfortunes. Being related to you, I suppose, makes me sympathize with you. But apart from the fact of the relationship, there is no one whom I hold in greater respect. That is true, and I shall prove it to you. For I am incapable of mere flattery. Tell me now, Prometheus, what I should do to help you. You shall never say that you have any firmer friend than Oceanus.
Was it? So you too have came here to gaze at my torment. Are you here to observe what I suffer and add your grief to mine? Behold, a spectacle. See with what pains I am now disciplined by Zeus.
I see, Prometheus. And although your mind is subtle, I do want to offer you the best advice that I can. A new king rules among the gods. Know yourself and take upon yourself new ways to suit the time. If in this way you fling out angry speeches, it may be Zeus, though he is so far above, will hear you. And your present load of troubles will seem a childish trifle. Oh, my unhappy friend! Lay off your angry mood and seek deliverance from all of your suffering. What I say may seem perhaps well-worn, but your plight is the inescapable truth of a true proud speaking time. You will still not be humble. You will not yield to pain. You mean to add new sufferings to those you already have. Come now! Accept my guidance. We are ruled by one whose harsh and sole dominion none may call into account. Acknowledge this, and cease to kick against the goat. Now, I will go to see if there's any way within my power to set you free. Meanwhile, keep quiet. Do not rage and storm. You are intelligent. You know very well that punishment falls on the unruly tongue.
I envy you your luck for not being censored, even having dared to sympathize with me. But now leave it, give it no more thought. Do what you may, you will never persuade him. He is immovable. Look out yourself, lest you might find trouble on your way.
You
You are a far more prudent counselor of others than you are of yourself. Experience makes this plain to me, but I am a judge to go, so say no more against it. I am sure. Yes, sure that Zeus will grant me what I ask, and for my sake, loose your bonds and set you free!
And I shall always thank you. Your goodwill is all that one could ask, but stir no hand for me. Your trouble will be wasted and do me no good, whatever you intend to try. If I suffer, I therefore not wish that as many as possible should suffer too. Far from it. But you are not without experience, you have no need of my instructions. Save yourself as you know how. Meanwhile, I'll drink my painful trunk to the dregs until Zeus relaxes his angry mood.
Have you not learned, Prometheus, that anger is a disease which words can heal?
Yes, if you soothe the spirit when it's ripe, not roughly balk as welling rage.
Tell me, Prometheus, do you see some risk entailed in me having dared to sympathize with you?
Superfluous labor and light-minded foolishness.
Let me be guilty then of foolishness. Sometimes a wise man gains his point by being thought not wise.
In this case, it is I who will be thought not wise.
Your way of speaking plainly sends me home again.
Why, yes, in pitying me, I fear that you might as well gain an enemy.
Who? The new enthralled Almighty Lord?
Take care, he may turn angry.
Your fate is a lesson to me, Prometheus.
No, get out, be what you are.
I'm anxious to be going, there is no need to shout. Yes, this four-legged beast's already beating his wings the smooth path of air. He'll be grateful enough to lie down comfortably in his own stall. At home!
I weep, Prometheus, for your deadly plight. Tears flow from my eyes, fall in a gentle stream, and wash my cheek like a spring of water. In this pitiful sight, Zeus, ruling by laws of his own invention, provides an example of his proud power over the gods of the past.
You must not think that it's through pride or stubbornness that I am silent. Thought and anger gnaw my heart to see myself so outraged. Who gave to all these new gods their honors first and last? All that you know and I shall not speak of. But what I've done for mortals in their misery here now. At first, mindless, I gave them mind and reason. All their life they spent like shapes in dreams, confused and purposeless. They had eyes, but sight was meaningless. Heard sounds, but could not listen. Until I taught them how to determine when stars set or rise. Number, the primacy science I invented for them, and how to put down the words in writing. I was the first one to set the beast under the yoke, would trace or settle as man's slaves, to take on man's heaviest burdens, put the horse to the chariot, made him obey their rein, and be an ornament of wealth and greatness. I was the one to discover the sailor's wagon, a flax-winged craft that roams the sea. If man fell ill, he had no remedy, solid or liquid medicines, until I showed them how to mix mild healing herbs and so protect themselves from all maladies. Then, all the signs of prophecy I predicted correctly. And I distinguished all the senses, voices, sounds met by chance upon the road, and defined exactly the crooked flight of vultures, those for the gods favorable and those sinister. And then the messages from fire, all obscure before, I now made plain. So much for prophecy. Then the treasures of the earth, the gold, bronze, silver, all lead them deep down. Who but else could say to have found them first but Prometheus? In one word, all men, science, and skills was Prometheus's gift.
I have hopes that you will yet be freed and rival Zeus in power.
Fate fulfills all in time. Cunning is but feebleness before necessity.
And whose hands on the helm controls necessity?
The three fates and the furies who forget nothing.
Has Zeus less power than they?
He cannot escape from fate.
It is a pleasant thing to spend the length of life in confidence and hope.
And nourish the soul in light and cheerfulness.
But I shudder when I see you, Prometheus, wrapped in infinite tortures, for you have no fear of Zeus. But pursuing your own purpose, you respect too highly the race of mortals.
See, my friend, how thankless were all your benefits. What strength is there, and what hope can be found in men who live for a day? Thus is the truth I have learned from your downfall, Prometheus.
What land is this? What race lives here? Oh, what is it that I see? Held in feathers of rock at the mercy of wind and storm. For what sin do you suffer such a path? Tell me, where has my miserable wandering brought me? That to get fly stings me again. I see the ghost of Argus. The earthborn earthman, 1,000 eyes. He follows me with his crafty gates. God, give him away! He was killed, but no one can hide him. He escaped from his grave to haunt me without mercy, and drives me starving along the sandy shores, while the clear music of a waxed-bone pipe fills my ear with a tune that longs for a sleep. Where will my endless journey bring me? Son of Kronos, what have I done? What sin did you find in me to put on me such a yoke of torment? Plague me to misery and madness with his driving, stinging terror. Burn me with fire. Let the earth swallow me, throw me as food for sea serpents. Lord God, will you grant me this prayer? I've wandered so far. I've been punished enough with wandering. I cannot tell how to escape from pain. Do you hear my voice? This is Io, the girl with horns.
I hear indeed the frenzied daughter of Inachus, who fired the heart of Zeus with love, and suffers now at Paris' hand her long ordeal of cruel pursuit.
You spoke my father's name. How do you know it? Tell me who you are. You, as pitiable as I. You know who I am. And you name it truly the heaven-sent tormentor which ravages and drives me with stink. I've run without rest in a leaping frenzy of pain and hunger. I'm the victim of Hera's calculating resentment. Are there any in all this suffering world who endure what I endure? Tell me, what remains for me to suffer? What resource? What cue can save me? Speak if you know. Give help and guidance to the tortured exiled.
I will tell you plainly everything you wish to learn, not weaving mysteries, but in such simple speech as one should use in speaking to a friend. I am Prometheus, who bestowed upon mankind the gift of fire.
Oh, universal benefactor of mankind. Ill-starred Prometheus. Why are you thus crucified?
I was lamenting my pains. I have ceased now.
Will you not tell
Ask.
me?
I can tell everything.
Who was it then that clamped you fast in this ravine?
The will of Zeus decreed. Hephaestus' hand obeyed.
What were the sins for which you suffered?
What have I told you is enough?
Then, reveal these. Where is the end of my cursed wandering, and when?
Not to know this is better for you than to know.
Do not hide from me what is my doom to suffer.
It is not that I grant you what you ask of me.
Why then do you hesitate to tell me the whole truth?
Not from ill will, I shrink from shattering your heart.
Come! Do not take more thought for me than I would wish.
Since you are determined, I will tell you. Listen then.
Not yet. Let us ask Io to tell us first the story of her affliction. Then let her learn from you what
what she must endure.
It is for you, Io, to grant them their request, and more especially, since they are your father's sisters.
I cannot disobey. You shall hear everything you want to know, in plain words. Don't even to speak of those events from which my trouble first arose and my unhappy transformations make me weep. At night, in my own room, visions visit me, repeating in seductive words, "Most blessed maid, why you leave a virgin for so long? Love waits for you, the greatest. Zeus, inflamed with arrows or desires, longs to unite with you in love. Do not reject, my child, the bed of Zeus. Go out to the deep grass of Lern now where your father's sheep and cattle graze, that the eye of Zeus may rest from longing and be satisfied by such dreams. Every troubled night I was beset, until I dared to tell my father. Then he sent messengers many times to feed on the donut to learn what he must say or do to please the gods, taken back with reports of breathing oracle, obscurely worded, hard to interpret, but at last was given a clear utterance, commanding Inachus to turn me from his house and city, to wander homeless to the ends of the earth. If he refused, the fiery thunderbolt of Zeus would fall and extirpate his race to the last man. Such was the oracle of Loxias. My father yielded and sent me forth and locked his door against me. He, as unwilling as myself, but he was forced to do this by the cruel bridal rein of Zeus. At once my shape was changed, my mind distorted, horned, as you now see, convulsed and mad. I was followed by Argus, a giant earthman of ungoverned age who watched every single my step. I get fly maddened. Still I'm driven from land to land, lashed by this God-appointed scourge. This is my story. If you can say what still remains to be endured, please tell me, and do not out of pity comfort me with lies. I count false words the foulest plague of all.
What a pitiful, terrible fate! That anguish, cruelty, terror, so bitter to see and to endure. Alas, fate! Fate! I see the blood of Io and tremble.
You shed your tears too early like a frightened woman. Keep them until you hear what is to follow.
Speak then, and tell her all. It comforts those in pain to know beforehand all the pain they still must bear.
You wish to hear Io's ordeal from her own lips. Now hear the rest. What suffering holds at Hermes' hand in store for this young maid. Now lay to heart my words, daughter of Inachus, and learn the goals to all your journeys. From this land turn first toward the rising sun, and cross the unplowed plains of the land of nomad Scythians. Beware of them. Then take your path down to the loud, roaring, rocky shore, and so pass through that country. On your left hand, you will find the land of the Calibes. They are savages, and no man can approach them safely. Next, you will find the Caucasus itself. There you shall cross the topmost ridge close to the stars and turn towards south, where you will meet the warlike race of the Amazons, haters of men. They will most gladly guide you on your way. Next, Where a narrow creek gives entrance to a lake, you will reach the Cimmerian Isthmus. Boldly then leave land and cross the Maiotic Strait. Thus, from Europe, you would have reached the Asian continent. Does it not seem to you that this king of gods is in all matters alike to violence? A god, lusting union with a mortal maid, he dooms her to such journeys. All that I've said so far hardly begins. Believe me, all there is to tell.
Oh, I cannot bear it.
More cries and groans. When you shall hear the rest, what then?
Why should I go on living? Why not harm myself from this rocky cliff, be dashed in pieces, and find relief from all my pains? It's better to die once than to suffer torment all my living days.
Then you would find it hard to bear my agonies, since I am fated not to die. Death would have brought me release. But there is no end in sight to my sufferings until Zeus be deposed from sovereignty.
What? Is it possible that Zeus should be deposed?
You would be glad, I think, to see that coming.
Oh, could I help it? After all he made me suffer.
Learn it as truth. It shall be so.
By whom shall Zeus be stripped of power?
By his own foolish purposes.
How will it happen? Tell me if he does no harm.
He plans a union that will turn to his undoing.
With mortal or immortal, tell me if you may.
Why ask with whom? This is a thing I may not tell.
Then it is she that will unseat him from his throne.
She is to bear a son more powerful than his father.
Is there any way from which Zeus can escape this fate?
None, but with my help, I could save him once set free.
But if Zeus be unwilling, who can set you free?
A child of yours is named as my deliverer.
What do you see? My child shall set you free from this chain.
Yes, in the 13th generation after you.
I find it hard to interpret this last prophecy.
And do not seek to know your own appointed lot.
You offered me this favor, do not refuse now.
Since you are eager, I must tell you. First, I will name the many lands through which fate will toss you in your journey. When you have reached the cross that bounds 2 continents, turn toward the Gorgonian land, Seistin. There lived Porus' virgin-aged daughters, in shape like swans, with 1 eye and 1 tooth between the 3. And near them, their swift-winged sisters, loathed enemies of humankind, the snake-haired Gorgons, whom no man can see and live. This is but the beginning. Beware the silent hounds of Zeus, the sharp-beaked griffins, and beware the race of the Arimaspian horsemen. Do not go near them. There is the Ethiopian river. Follow its course down to the Nile, where you will find this cataract, where you and your descendant shall at last by fate's appointment find your far-off colony, the city of Canopus. And there Zeus shall restore your mind and come upon you, not with terror, but with a gentle touch, and his hand laid upon you will put life into your womb, and you will bear a son to Zeus, and you shall name him after his begetting, child of a touch, Hephaestus. 5 generations after him, a family of 50 sisters will return against their will to Argus to escape kindred marriage with their cousins. And from one of their children's children shall yet be born in time a fearless hero, famed as an archer, and he shall free me from these bonds. That was the oracle as my mother told it me. Titanian Themis, born in the old time. But how old this shall come about, it will take me too long to tell, and you in listening would gain nothing.
The stroke! Oh, shot arrow. My heart beat wildly in my body. My eyeballs roll and turn. I can't cover my tongue. Words came out at random, beating against waves of deadly ruin.
O fates, who bring all things to fulfillment, may you never see me sharing the bed of Zeus.
May I never be joined in marriage with any god, for I shudder when I look at the girlhood of Io, denied the love of a man, tormented in ever-restless exile by the cruelty of Hera.
What would become of me, I cannot say, for I see no way of escaping the design of Zeus.
I swear to you that Zeus shall yet be humbled. So disastrous this marriage shall prove which he proposes, a marriage that shall hurl him from his power into oblivion. And then the curse his father Cronus cursed him with upon losing his ancient throne shall all come true. So let him sit on, serenely confident, his fierce thunder, and brandish his fire-breathing thunderstone. That will not save him. His fall shall be sure, shameful, unendurable.
These threats against Zeus surely voice but your own wish.
I speak what shall prove true, and my own wish as well. Zeus's head shall bow between worse pins than mine.
Why are you not afraid to fling such taunting words?
Why should I fear Zeus? My destiny is not to die. I am prepared for everything.
A wise man will speak humbly and fear nemesis.
Bow, pray, always fawn upon the powerful hand. For great Zeus, I care less than nothing. So let him do and govern as he please for the short time he has. He will not govern long amongst the gods. Why, look, here comes his runner, the new tyrant Lickspittle. No doubt he brings some message.
I speak to you, the mastermind with heart more sour than sourness. You who gave privileges to mortal men and sinned against immortals. You, the thief of fire. The Father bids you tell him what this marriage is through which you boast that he shall fall from power. Now speak. No clever riddles, but set forth the detailed truth. Do not, Prometheus, make me come again all this way. Zeus is not mollified by such replies.
This underling of God makes a high-sounding speech crammed with importance. You and your crew are young, and yet you think you hold an unassailable citadel, but I have already seen 2 dynasties hurl from those same heights, and I shall see a third, today's king, fall to the ground more shamefully than his precursors, and more soon. Do you think I quake and cower under his fierce threats? Not much, nor little, not even the slightest thought. So you trot back the way you came. You'll find out nothing here.
Conduct like this, both obstinate and insolent as once already, brought you to a painful plight.
Understand this, I would not exchange my painful plight on any terms for your servile humility.
Being bondslave to this rock is preferable, no doubt, to being a trusted messenger of Father Zeus.
You speak the fitting language of the insolent.
And it seems you find your present state a luxury.
You think so? Then may I one day see all my enemies, and you amongst them, in such luxury as this.
What? I? Do you blame me too for your sufferings?
In one word, I blame all the gods who would repay my benefits with such an outrageous infamy.
It is plain that your insanity is far advanced.
Perhaps, if to hate your enemies is insanity.
Now you, free and in power, would be unbearable.
Oh, alas!
Alas? That word is one which Zeus has never known.
But time, as he grows old, teaches everything.
Time has not taught you self-control or prudence yet.
No, or I would not be arguing with an underling.
It seems you'll tell nothing of what Zeus wants to know.
And yet I owe him much that I would gladly pay.
You banter with me? Do you think I'm a child?
Are you not then a child, or worse than childish, if you still expect to get an answer out of me? There is no torture, no ingenuity by which Zeus can force me to reveal this secret. So let the scorching flame be flung at me. Let the earth with white-winged thunderstones, subterranean thunderings, heave
and convulse. Nothing will force me to reveal by whose hands fate shall hurl him from his tyranny.
Consider now whether this course seems profitable.
I have already considered all this and resolved.
Come, bring yourself, perverse fool, to weigh your situation while there is still time, and so turn to sense.
You waste your breath. You might as well extort the waves. Never persuade yourself that I, through fear of what Zeus may intend, shall show a woman's mind or kneel before my detested enemies with womanish hands outspread in supplication for release. No, never.
My words lead only to more words without effect. Beg as I may, nothing can soothe her or soften you. Like an unbroken colt, you take the bit between your teeth and fight against the reins. Yet all your strength comes from feeble reckoning, for obstinacy in a fool has by itself no strength at all. Consider now what punishments will burst inevitable upon you like a storm of mountainous waves if you do not listen to me. First, Zeus will split this rugged chasm with the thunder and bolt of lightning and entomb you underground, still clamped to this embracing rock. When a long age has passed, you shall come back to the light, and then the savage hound of Zeus will come. The savage eagle, an uninvited banqueter, and all day long will rip your flesh and feast upon your liver, gnawing it black. And you may hope for no release from such a torment, till some god be found to take your pains upon him, and of his own will descend to sunless Hades and the black depths of Tartarus. So think again, this is no fabricated boast, but truth, as Zeus has spoken it, who cannot lie, but will accomplish every word his mouth has uttered. Look every way, consider, and be sure of this. Wise counsel is always worth more than stubbornness.
So, let the prongs long of heaven be lunged at me. Let the air be roused with thunder and convulsion of wild winds. Let the earth upheave by the root, the base of the earth. Let the sea waves, roaring savagery, confound the course of the heavenly stars. Let him lift me high and hurl me to black Tartarus and northwest floods of irresistible doom. I am one whom he cannot kill.
Words and thought like these are what one may hear from lunatics. This prayer of his shows all the features of frenzy, and I see no sign of improvement. You, however, who sympathize with his sufferings, get away quickly from this place, lest the intolerable roar of thunder stun your senses.
If you want to persuade me, use a different tone and give other advice. You speak too hastily, bidding me to do what I could not think of doing. I will stay with Prometheus, come what must.
Then remember my warning. And when you are caught by calamity, don't lay the blame on fortune or say that Zeus plunged you in sufferings unforeseen. Not Zeus, but yourselves will be to blame. You know what is coming. It is neither sudden nor secret. Only your own folly will entangle you in the inextricable net of destruction.
Now, it is happening. Threat gives way to performance. The earth rocks. Thunder echoing from the depths roars in ambush. Fiery lightnings twist and flash. Dust dances in a whirling fountain. The blast of the four winds skirmish together, set themselves in an array for battle. The cataclysm comes visibly upon me, sent by Zeus to make me afraid. O earth, my holy mother! O sky, where sun and moon give light to all in turn! You see how I